their image, their actions, and their treatment by others. Already, President Obama's image as a devoted father to his two daughters has had an impact on the way black fathers are portrayed in the media. Check this out. I find it adorable.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today.
All those boys are much too much. Those boys.
I love that so much. We're going to talk more about black men and fatherhood later on. I can't wait to talk about that. But first, we're going to talk about one of the most dominant fashion trends among young black men, which is wearing saggy pants or sagging pants, all right? Now, you may not know this, but the sagging trend, a lot of people say, actually originated in prisons when inmates were not allowed to wear belts because belts can harm someone else or themselves. In the early 1990s, hip-hop stars brought it to the mainstream, but President Obama, when he was asked about black men and sagging pants, said, brothers should pull up their pants. You're all walking by your mother, your grandmother. Your underwear is showing. What's wrong with that? Come on. That's what he said. So joining us now are Jay, Harold, and Jake. So I'm going to start with you, Jay. You sag, right?
Yeah, I sag all the time.
Yeah, you're sagging right now. I see it. Okay. So tell me why you sag.
I mean, this is my personal style, so I don't feel like I have to apologize for it. This is the way I dress. I grew up in the hood. I mean, even though now I definitely have my own style, I still feel like it definitely influenced the way I dress today.
Can you turn around for me? What's going on back there? Well, wait, turn around again. Let me see. What is... Oh, and lift your shirt just a little bit. Oh, my God! Your whole booty is out. It must be airy and free. Okay, Harold, and yours seem, I'm sorry, Jay, yours seem kind of tight. Is that the new style?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like a slouch skinny or something.
A slouch skinny jean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's the new thing. Okay, now, Harold, you sag as well.
Yes, Tyra, I'm gonna keep it so real with you. This is my swag. Like, this is what me and my friends do when
okay,
we're about to go out.
Let me see. When you're about to go, oh my God! Ah!
I mean, when we about to go out, we get fly, we do a little, and I feel as though some people might not like it, but if you don't like it, don't look at it.
Okay, I know that there's some people in your life that don't like it.
Yeah, my dad hates it. My dad hates it. Older people hate it, and I actually had a girlfriend to say, I think that's so unattractive, but I'm not going to change for nobody. This is what I like doing.
And Jake, you sag as well. Tell us why you sag.
Well, I'm a pretty tall, skinny guy, so it can be kind of tough finding jeans that fit. So either I have to find jeans that are too big if I want to reach my shoes, or I have to get jeans that are too short.
So yours is just a technical sag?
Mostly.
So let's see you. Turn around.
But it's just because, I mean, that's the only way I can get pants that fit me.
So, Jay, you've heard now what President Obama has to say about sagging pants. Do you think it'll make you think twice about it?
I definitely respect Obama. I definitely voted for him. And I think that he's a great leader. But at the same time, nobody's going to determine how I dress. I pay my own credit card bills. So, I mean, I'm going to dress how I dress. And it's just my personal style. And I don't think that how I dress is how I carry myself, and I think that's way more important. Okay, who has something to say about sagging in the audience? Who has something to say? Stand on up. What do you have to say about sagging?
I think it's ridiculous.
What's your name?
My name's Isaac, and when I go to work, I'm not required to wear I'm not required to wear a shirt and tie, but I do. And people always look at me and they say, you look like the executive, or you look like the boss around here.
Like, heck yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I want people to think. I want people to think I'm in charge, because you know what? That's the job that I want. I want to be the CEO. And when people see me with the pants down, they're not looking at that. They're thinking I'm a thug. They're looking at something else.
Joining us is Professor of Sociology at Georgetown University and author of April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King's Death and How It Changed America, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, who I wanted to be here today. I think you're such a profound man, and I really wanted you to be here today. I was on the phone with my producers, like, you need to get him there. We're doing this show.
Thank you,
So tell me, how do you feel about sagging?
Well, look, obviously it's a fashion statement. When I was coming up, I'm 50 years old now. Back in the day in Detroit, when we had a big fro, the Michael Jackson, you were dance, 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 dancing machine. Watch it get down, watch it get down, and she do her thing, right? We had the big fro, right? You had the big fro, you had the blue jeans. We didn't sag. We didn't live in Sag Harbor then. We couldn't make it out that far. But we certainly were considered thugs. And we grew up to be useful men in our society. So on the one hand, I'm quite resistive to the notion that people would spend time legislating, as some legislators have done, trying to outlaw. Oh, in Texas, they're trying to outlaw sagging. I say don't outlaw sagging pants, outlaw sagging dreams, sagging hopes, sagging possibilities, because we've all had long hair, tattoos, and the like. On the other hand, I tell my 30-year-old son, I'm for your sartorial preference. But when you roll up into the corporate world, obviously you have to acknowledge the decorum of that particular world. If you want to get over, then you got to pull your pants up and look straight. Not because I have a judgment against the sagging pants, but because society perceives you in a certain way. So you have to acknowledge the freedom. If you're working at a hip-hop station, or if you're working as the head of a corporation and you happen to be a hip-hop star, sag all you want. But until you get to that point, you have to acknowledge the necessity for dressing according to for success.
I agree with you. Okay, we have actor, comedian, and author of Your Girlfriends Only Know So Much, and he's a friend of the Tyra Show, Finesse Mitchell. What you got to say about sagging pants?
How y'all doing? Well, honestly, I think it's embarrassing to the point where how low they're taking their pants, you know, because I used to be the guy, you know, I'm 36 now, but it was only probably like 3 years ago when I was wearing big jeans until my wife said, you need to start wearing jeans that fit. And I was like, why? What's wrong with these? And I didn't think about it until I started doing it and things started looking, you know, better. And I started to see, you know, as I went to the malls and I would see the younger guys who didn't look like thugs, but they're not even wearing the long white T-shirts anymore to cover up their saggy jeans. They're wearing tank top wife beaters, tucking them into the boxes, and then wearing a belt, you know, that's tying the belt right below their knees.
How do they stay up?
And I don't understand how I don't understand how you can be a thug or want to portray that image, but have your butt out for everybody to see. And even if you do a crime, how you gonna get away? You can't run like that.
Right.
So, you know, if Jay-Z can tell people, you know, to change it, switch up your style, stop wearing the jerseys.
He
said that in the album, and so many people stopped wearing jerseys. You know, they started putting on buttons up. If he can do that, then I know Barack, when he says, you know, look, it's time to vote. And there was a lot of people that went out and stood in 3-hour lines to vote. So if they can do all that, I know if Barack will influence people to put their pants up. I would hope.
I think there's going to be some more belts selling right now in stores after Barack said
But the problem would be if they pull their pants up and they still don't have a job. Pull your pants up and still don't have opportunity. Pull your pants up and still don't have acceptance in society.
And we're going to be talking about that, too. I agree with you. We'll be right back.
Up next, can President Obama's election change perceptions in the African-American community?
I was doing good in school, but nowadays, it just feels like school, it's not really my thing.
And later, a new role model in the White House.
He's like the real living proof that black men can step up, be fathers in the family, and change our future.
The state of our economy calls for action, bold and swift, and we will act. Not only to create new jobs, but to lay a new foundation for growth. We will restore science to its rightful place and wield technology's wonders to raise healthcare's quality and lower its cost. We will harness the sun and the winds and the soil to fuel our cars and run our factories, and we will transform our schools and colleges and universities to meet the demands of a new age.
Our first African-American president of the United States, we're asking the question, how will President Obama's role as the leader of the free world impact the black man? President Obama said, sometimes I'll go to an 8th grade graduation and there's all that pomp and circumstance and gowns and flowers, and I think to myself, it's just 8th grade. To really compete, they need to graduate high school, and then they need to graduate college, and they probably need a graduate degree too. Obama's words were for everyone, but will they resonate with our young black men? Nearly 2/3 of African Americans undergraduates are women. At black colleges, the ratio of women to men is 7 to 1. Joining us now is Latifah, who's concerned about her cousin Julito's lack of interest in going to college. So tell me about what your main concern is.
Well, Tyra, this is my cousin, and I love him to death before I say anything. But I feel like he's falling into the stereotype of entertainment or sports within our community. He doesn't want to go to school. He just wants to either rely on acting or pick up a sport, anything like that. But he's pretty much doing what everybody does. And I feel like now, being that we have a black president, it should inspire him to be more proactive. Everything that he is doing is like hood-wise, hood education. I'm going to learn from the streets. I'm going to do this and do that. And he's not really putting his all into what he can do.
So you're an actor, Julito, right?
Yes.
When was your last job?
I was in an episode of Law & Order, Special Victims Unit, in January of 2008.
That was your last acting job?
Yes. And
you're going to rely on this as an income?
I mean, it's not necessarily my fault. You know, growing up, I was learning, I was doing good in school, but nowadays, it just feels like school, it's not really my thing. And I did, you know, well in